A plane crashing due to error or malfunction sounds real, and we as humans believe it. But how about a plane disappearing into thin air with no traces? In today's video, we'll speak about the 10 mysterious plane disappearances. Number 10. Lady Be Good. A U.S. Army Corps B-24D, named as Lady Be Good, was on a bombing mission in Italy in April of 1943. After the mission, all planes returned to the base, but the plane nicknamed as the Lady Be Good was the only one that did not return to its base in Libya. People assumed that the plane crashed in the Mediterranean Sea. A search was carried with no trace of the plane being found. Later, in 1958, an oil exploration crew on duty spotted the plane in the Libyan desert. Even though the plane crashed, it was preserved in the arid conditions. In 1960, the remains of the 8 crew members were also found in different locations in the desert. Among the bodies, the diary of the co-pilot Robert Toner was found. Toner scripted what happened to them. He mentioned that 9 of the crew members bailed out before the crash, with 8 surviving. He also mentioned that all the survivors walked 85 miles before 5 of them gave up and 3 continued to walk until they were dead. This incident was one of the oldest aviation mysteries. Number 9. Malaysia Airlines Flight MH370. On the 8th of March 2014, a Malaysian flight carrying 239 people was heading from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing. However, the plane never really made it to Beijing. Indeed, it vanished into thin air. Rescuers spent months searching, but nothing was really found. This incident was labeled as the greatest aviation mystery. Number 8. Flight 19 Torpedo Bombers. In the 1900s, during World War II, the United States dispatched 5 torpedo bombers as routine training flight over the Bermuda Triangle. 5 military aircraft, which had 14 crew members in total, disappeared. After the disappearances of those members, the Navy sent another 13 crew to check on them, and they never came back as well. Number 7. Air France Flight 447. 10 years ago, an Air France plane was heading from Rio de Janeiro to Paris, crashed in the Atlantic, killing all 216 passengers and 12 of the crew. What's strange about this incident is there was no solid reason for the crash. The incident was a mystery until the black box was found, along with the recovered voice recorders. It was shown that the speed recorders were frozen during storm leading to the crash. The search took around $31 million and almost 2 years. Number 6. Amelia Earhart. On the 2nd of July, 1937, Amelia Earhart, a navigator, took off in Lockheed Electra from New Guinea, attempting to be the first female to achieve the around-the-world flight. However, the plane vanished into thin air over the Pacific, and nothing was ever heard again. Number 5. Flying Tiger Flight 739. In 1962, during the Vietnam War, United States Army Flying Tiger Flight 739 was heading from Guam to the Philippines, but disappeared over the Pacific Ocean. What's strange is that no calls were ever received from the crew. The Army sent 48 aircraft, 1,300 people, and 8 surface vessels, all of which searched around 144,000 miles, and nothing was found. Number 4. Stardust Crash in 1947. On the 2nd of August 1947, Stardust, which was a British South American airway, was heading from Buenos Aires to Santiago, but disappeared on that flight. However, after more than 50 years, pieces of the plane were found in the Andes Mountains. In 2000, body parts of passengers were also found, and they were well preserved because of the glacial ice. Number 3. Uruguayan Air Force Flight 571. On October 13th of 1972, a Uruguayan Air Force plane carrying the Uruguay rugby team and 5 crew members disappeared while it was crossing the Andes. After 72 days of disappearance, everyone assumed that everyone on the plane was probably dead. However, 16 survivors were later found. Number 2. Indian Air Force plane crash. In July of 2016, an Antonov AN-32 aircraft of the Indian Air Force was heading from Tambaram Air Force Station to Port Blair, but disappeared with 29 passengers on board. The search of the plane and crew on board was the biggest search operation in India. However, the mission was called off in September with no trace. Number 1. Vancouver Douglas DC-4. In 1951, Douglas DC-4 departed from Vancouver and was heading to Anchorage Airport. The weather that day was very bad, with just visibility of 500 feet. An emergency warning was issued to the pilot, but it was already too late. There were no traces of the plane. This is the end of today's video. What did you think of those disappearances? Share with us in the comments section below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn the post notifications on to receive the latest from us. See you in the next one.